Yeah, we just want to thank you guys for being out here and supporting women's sports. It's very important that you guys are here and telling our stories. We'll have Coach Gavin Peterson start us off with an opening statement, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Congratulations to Syracuse. They put 4 quarters together, and they kind of found a different gear in that third and fourth quarter that we were unable to find with our team. And so, we've just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. 21 turnovers and our lack of execution, especially out of timeouts into start quarters, a little disappointing, and that's on me. I've got to do a better job of having our players ready for that, and then also giving up 24 O boards. We knew it was a key coming into the game, and it's something we're going to have to address immediately as we continue on with this season. And again, that's something that we can continue to work on as long as we make sure that we focus on it and there's an intensity to it above it. We should be able to clean that up. Our program has always been known as a really good rebounding team, especially not having the size that some of the other teams that we play against have. That's been in our DNA, and we've got to just get back to it. And again, that falls on our coaching staff, and we'll get that done. But again, hats off to Syracuse. Wish them nothing but the best moving forward.
And of course, players first, or for anyone?
For anyone.
Okay.
You're good. Thanks, Howard.
Maddie, Renee, for each of you guys first, just getting the type of early challenges you guys have gotten in this schedule, both with Washington and outside with Syracuse, what do you each see as sort of the biggest thing that you guys need to get better at between now and making the tournament the way you guys did last season?
Yeah, I mean, Gavin kind of hit it on the head, obviously rebounding, and just, I mean, we're pretty young, but our culture maintains the same, so just going back to that. I mean, everything that we need to work on is in our control, which is really good at this point. I think just playing tougher and, playing as a team. But, rebounding is a big thing that we're going to continue to work on throughout the season. I think it's good that we got exposed this early. I mean, Syracuse plays really hard. So we just got to continue to work on that and stay together because it is a long season, so it is something we can fix. So, yeah.
I mean, she hit it right on the money. Just to piggyback off of her, getting back to that gritty, tough mindset and just playing with this fierce energy and just going out there and giving it our all. I think if we can get back to that and just stay consistent in that, we're untouchable. I mean, we're obviously not the biggest team out there, so I think just finding those little things that can separate us from those bigger size teams and taking advantage of those, and like Maddie said, getting back to that gritty, tough mindset.
And then, Coach, for you, I mean, to your point, you guys were 7th in the country in defensive rebounding percentage last year. So, I mean, it's not just, holding your own despite size, but, it's been a key strength. Are there things you can do within practice to work on that, or is that really just a question of day-to-day effort more than anything else?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I think this week has been a unique travel week for us. So I told them in the locker room that's on me. I robbed them of some tough, gritty drills that we typically do on a daily basis to preserve our legs and handling the stresses of flying across the country. So, I robbed them of that this week. But again, basketball rewards toughness. It rewards the grittiness of programs, and that's on me. Like, I've got to do a better job of getting them ready to handle the physicality that we're going to face in the Big 12. And so I'm glad we're getting a taste of it early. And we've got to be able to, everybody be accountable about doing their job and then going and pursuing the basketball. It's fundamentally hitting first and not allowing your opponent to hit you. But again, that's a credit to Syracuse, as Washington as well. That's a credit to them. That's something we hold very high in our program in terms of creating second chances. And, we created 6 second chances for us while they created 24 for themselves. You're not going to win many games, especially come conference play, let alone postseason play, if you're doing that. So we'll absolutely address it, but I know we have it in us because we've done it in the past.
Right. And then just the flip side of that is to hold Syracuse to 32%. You know, this is a team with multiple scorers who can create for themselves. You know, just what do you guys take away from that defensively? What do you feel like you've learned from that?
You know, for me, I think what this program has been known for has been playing at a high pace, scoring the basketball. So when you hold a team to 61 points, typically Utah basketball wins those games. Tonight was not the case. And there's a lot of things that, you know, just reflecting off of like a lack of execution. Again, the 21 turnovers, those type of things are going to bite you in the butt. But, you know, we've got to just come together. We've got to make sure that we're playing and practicing with that same type of intensity that we're going to see come Big 12. And so we've got to get ready for it. And I know we will. It's going to take a little bit of time, more time than I think we thought.
Hello, guys. Nathaniel Cunningham, WJPZ Syracuse. Kind of for all of you, you played fast pace. You played with that kind of pushing the ball up and down. And in the first half, it worked kind of despite those mistakes in turning the ball over. I guess I'm curious, how do you continue with that pace that was causing Syracuse trouble but limit those turnovers throughout the rest of the game?
Yeah, I think it's, you know, there's getting in basketball shape can be done multiple ways. And for us, I think having a lot of newcomers in our program, we've got to get game experience. So it might look ugly at times, but the big picture is as we get ready for our games in the Big 12 towards the end of December, that we're finding our stride. So I'm not worried about what the effort or the level of pushing the pace is. Like, we're going to get better. So I did see some good things, and then there's also things we must clean up, and I think we'll get better just as we get more games under our belt.
I'll add to that too. In the first half, obviously it helps to play fast when we get stops and rebound. The first 5 minutes we did a really bad job, and then we focused on rebounding, and I think that's why we're able to play so fast. It's hard to play in transition against a very athletic team when you got to take the ball out and go the whole length of the court. So just once again, rebounding is a really big thing for us, not only to get stops on defense, but it allows us to play faster and move the ball. So yeah, just rebounding again will help us a lot.
And I think too, our team's very unique. We're like a puzzle. When everyone does their job and everyone showcases what their ability is, we are so good, and that's why we have that capability of playing at such a fast pace, because on any given night somebody can go off, and if not, we have the capability of each pitching in a couple points and a couple rebounds, and that's what makes our team so good, and having that ability to play fast. So just getting back to those core values of what we each individually do good, so we can connect that puzzle and make us even better.
Coach, what did you see out of Syracuse's three-point defense tonight? You guys are normally a very good three-point shooting team with 5 of 22 tonight. What did you see out of their defense, particularly when it came to beyond the arc?
Yeah, they do a good job of defending with pressure. There were times when our cuts, you know, we were getting the cuts that we wanted to maybe loosen up that pressure. We just didn't cash in. A lot of missed layups, and that's something that we have to do a better job of, even, you know, building off the University of Washington game. We left a lot of points out there with missed layups, and then I think it showed itself again. And that's something we just got to continue to practice with. I think when you can score at the rim, you force the team to make an adjustment. And because we weren't finishing at the rim tonight, they didn't have to make an adjustment. So we had to work really hard to even get those 22 looks. And so that's a work in progress. But again, it's still early, and we've got to learn how to make defenses pay for doing that. And if they're going to take away the three-point line, then we should be able to score a little bit more inside.
Coach, it seemed like you were frustrated a little bit by the way your team was defending Uche Izoje, number 44, in the middle there. What did you hope to see defending her that you didn't see?
Yeah, I wanted to make her catches a little harder. I felt like we're playing behind way too much, and it's just an effort thing. Like, I need to get a hand up in the passing lane. I need to force the pass or the reception of the post-entry pass 1 foot off her sweet spot. We weren't doing that. We were just sitting behind and then hoping she missed. And like, these guys hear me say all the time, hope is not a game plan. You got to impose your will a little bit more. And so that's the only thing that I was a little disappointed. And she's a skilled basketball player, very athletic. Once she gets to the peak of her release, like, you actually are hoping at that point that she misses. So I think we've got to do a better job of establishing an inside post presence, forcing those catches just a little further off the sweet spots.
Any more questions? Right here in the front.
Anthony Price, CT Hoops Magazine. Coach, in the first half, I kept hearing you say, go, go, go. And in the other press conference, the players were hearing you say that as well. And your pace really got to them in the first half. And then the second half, they made some adjustments. What happened in the second half with your pace?
Yeah, I mean, we still wanted to continue to play with pace. But again, it's hard to run off made baskets. And again, the offensive rebounding, and that takes its toll on you. And so we have to do a better job of not giving them life. They started making a lot of their perimeter shots, and I told them in a timeout, like, the basket gets bigger when there's no pressure to have to make the shot. Why? Because you're creating second chances. And on the other end, we had 6 offensive rebounds, so the pressure to make shots, now we're a little more tight. We're not playing as free and as loose as we possibly can. So we still want to play with pace, and that's something we're going to continue to work at. And again, through game minutes, I think we're going to get better, and we'll be ready come December to really be, a fine-tuned transition offensive team. Also, we're starting a sophomore point guard and our freshman point guard coming off the bench. They need a little bit of more experience, and as games pile up, they'll get those minutes, and I think we'll improve in that category.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions?